What's going on, everyone? Welcome to our student spotlight. Today, I'm excited to introduce you guys to a student who has really hit the ground running and is having awesome results in their business. And we wanted to hop on and showcase that for you guys. Before we get into that, if you guys are not familiar with Results Driven and kind of what we do, I'd like to give you a little rundown. So at Results Driven, we're focused on creating a predictable experience through accountability with an industry-leading process to create game-changing results and leaders. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about any of our products or anything like that, go ahead and DM either Aaron or myself. Josh High Official is my Instagram. But without further ado, I would love to introduce Marissa, and I'd love to talk with you guys about her experience in our mentorship and what's changed in their business. Welcome on, Marissa. Can you hear us? I think we're having some audio issues.
Yeah, I hear you.
Got it. Okay. We got you now. So one, thank you for joining the call. And I have Aaron here. I know he's worked really closely with you guys, and just really wanted to get you on and ask questions and kind of go through some of the things that you guys have experienced in your business. And in talking with Aaron, it sounds like you guys have much more clarity. You guys have a lot of data that now that you guys are able to make confident decisions. And can you kind of just talk through some of the adjustments that you guys made as a result of coming out to our 2-day, joining the program? Can you talk through that process?
Yeah, to be honest, when we joined the 2-day, we were really just looking to not repeat, not have to repeat something that's already been created. So our business at this point is pretty large. Whenever we joined the 2-day, we had 30 employees, which I think is a little bit different than what you guys typically see. But we weren't truly looking to join the small group or, sign up for the commitment. We were just there to see, okay, what can we adapt on our end? Mm-hmm. After doing the 2-day, I came back to Oklahoma. I said, there's no way to do this on our own. It's going to take, 12 to 18 months to scale to the size we want to be at because of all the things in the back end that this team has already done. So within a week, we jumped on a call with Aaron. I think within a few days from there, we got set up with our coach, who then dove into our business. The thing with us, we were moving inventory. We were seeing profit. So we've structured everything, out to where it's an overview, you can say. So instead of saying, hey, we spend X amount on marketing each month, it's, hey, we're spending X amount on marketing each month in this specific channel, and this is how it's paying us back. Oh, yeah. I think since joining, we've cut our marketing down by like 10K, 15K, something that we used to kind of boast about. But now it's like, well, shit, half of that stuff wasn't even paying us back. Oh. So that's really the difference that we've experienced in a large organization, is seeing, oh, that hasn't been making us money. That hasn't been paying us back.
Yeah, I think dialing that in, having clarity on what is and isn't working. And for whatever reason, you see this a lot in real estate. People, they go and they throw money at the wall, marketing dollars, and they try to see what sticks. They just know that deals come in. They don't know the specific return on a specific channel, or in a lot of cases, not understanding the cash conversion cycle. So it leads to this analysis paralysis whenever it comes to making a decision. And what marketing are we going to launch? What are we going to pour fuel on the fire with, And so it sounds like you guys were able to dial that in. So you guys have been in the group now has it been 3 months already?
I think we're just shy of 3 months.
So talk through some of the results that you guys have been able, or that you've seen in your business. I know you guys dialed in a lot, have a lot more clarity on the metrics. What kind of deal flow are you guys experiencing right now, and revenue?
So our inventory deal per month has gone down, but our average profit projection has gone up, which means we're not doing stupid deals.
Okay. So you have more clarity from an acquisitions perspective on your buyers buy box, how they're making decisions. And not only that, but you have confidence in the price points you're locking deals up at and moving it on the back end.
Oh, 1000%.
And you
Just
get,
by joining the group, we've opened our eyes to a lot of departments we thought were doing well,
Mhm.
and then found that there was a lot of opportunity within those.
Yeah, when you guys have experienced, like, with the market shift, you guys have been taking down a lot more rehab opportunities. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Oh, no, 1000%. So as the market has shifted, our business has the capability of closing a lot of deals. And so one of our goals over this year was to flip-flop and having a lot more holds or wholetails versus just wholesaling everything. So that's one goal that we've wanted to accomplish in 2022, is not be so dependent on wholesaling constantly to have smaller margins come in, but more consistent. Now we're actually holding and flipping a lot more so we get a bigger return when those finally do get completed.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know you talked about kind of pulling back the curtains in different departments, and especially departments where you thought you had it on lock, but then you found
Yep.
out after pulling the curtains back that you didn't. Did you use? I see Ace. He actually made a comment here. Did you guys use Gapology in any of, like, rolling out these processes, rolling out systems, and things of that nature?
Yes, it's actually hilarious that you said that, because I was on a weekly call with my coach, and I told him, I have these great cultural fits on my team, but something's not connecting. I've sat down, I've put in the work, I've drawn a picture, whatever. And he said, stop whatever you're doing, go buy this freaking book, read this book. I said, okay, here's another person book pushing me. And I asked him one question. I said, okay, hey, I've got leaders and mentors who throw books at me every single day of the week. If I drop everything I'm doing now, am I going to gain something that will fix this problem? He said, yes. I read the book in 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Not only did I read the book in 3 days, I then had my leaders read the book in 3 days. We each have Gapology printed out and stuck either on a desk or on a wall or something, so we can identify, okay, where are these gaps coming from?
Mhm.
We can mentor them appropriately. So either they're going to coach up, or we're going to just coach them out of our organization. And
Oh,
we've
yeah.
successfully, in the past 3 months, done both.
Wow. Can you mind sharing, like, a specific example just for everyone on the
Sure.
call? And some people might be asking, what is Gapology? It's something that we cover. It's a management practice that we've adopted. Actually, Ace brought that into the organization. But it's a book, it's a management practice on providing clarity on what we need to do as managers, as leaders, to confidently put our people in a position to be successful. If you had a specific example that you guys went through for everyone that's watching, I think it'd be extremely valuable.
Yeah, I actually have a really tough example of how we implemented Gapology. Um, I will start by saying, if you are, as a leader, you have a opportunity or somebody who's really struggling, it's because you're failing them by not identifying what they're struggling with. As leaders, we've been doing it for so long, it's hard for us to get back on ground level. But when you can identify, okay, what gap are they in? What are they struggling with? Then you can get down on their level to truly. About, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, we made the decision collectively to part ways with our team lead on our sales team. It was a huge, huge position that handled a lot of our daily operations. And this person was a phenomenal culture fit, got along with everybody. You hit her with a challenge and she came back on fire, but it just wasn't working. The mark was continuously being missed. And so we identified her gap. And it was more of a knowledge gap of, why am I doing this every day? How is this moving the needle? What is this doing to accomplish the greater good? So we sat down and we drew that picture, and it all came back to the final gap, which was the action gap. And by following through the action gap and going in and holding this leader accountable, not only did we come to realize, but she came to realize she was just in the wrong position and in the wrong industry. But by doing that, we were able to leave everything on good notes, identify that, hey, this just was not the position for her, and it all fell out in good terms.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, to go through and that helps you sleep at night as the leader, knowing that you went through this entire process. You checked every box. Like, hey, did I do everything I could in the knowledge gap section? Did I do everything I possibly could in the importance gap section? And then once we identified it was an action gap, then we have to have those tough conversations. Hey, do you commit to doing this? Do you see yourself doing it well? I'm going to hold you accountable towards it, but I need your commitment. And it's at that point where you realized just wasn't a good fit. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. And I think, again, one thing I see a lot of leaders and managers, and it's not just in real estate, even in your everyday life across other industries, being able to be confident that we did everything we possibly could to put someone in a position to be successful. I think that there's a lot of managers that struggle with that by nature. And this is a management practice that has taken our company and a lot of our students' companies to the next level. And you guys are seeing that firsthand, which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you said it. It takes hard conversation as leaders to set them up for success. Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're back. We lost you for a sec.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
What is going on?
We can hear you. We can hear you sometimes and we can't hear the other times.
That's wacky. Hard conversations are always going to happen in leadership, but when you do gapology, like, you've done everything that you can, and they know that you've done everything that you can. So honestly, it makes these hard conversations pretty easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think another important factor, and I know like a big highlighted point that even you and I discussed was that, you went back and with your employees, you guys set more like strict aligned expectations for your employees as well, which I think, using Gapology is a great tool to help, with the management perspective. But I think you went back and saw the root cause of our expectations really aren't aligned for each person. So it's hard to dig in to each one of those gaps whenever you don't know who the person is holding, back from getting, said result. So can you kind of speak on that too? Because I know that's a really big thing. I know that you went back and I think you re-engineered the entire business for like, hey, this is what each person has to contribute from a revenue perspective, all the way clearly down to your guys, even your team lead. So can you kind of highlight on that for us too?
2022, we had a goal. Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
I don't know what's happening. But in 2022, we had a goal to move $3 million. We also restructured our entire organization. So every month we would miss, and we had to make this change, let go of this high cancerous performer, right? We'll catch up next month. So what would we do? We would just add to the next month. I think we can all sit here and agree that that's not good strategy. So we got on a call with our coach and adopted a lot of the KPI reports that were provided. And we said, holy shit, no wonder our people aren't motivated. These aren't attainable goals with what we have in our caliber right now. 2 months ago, we sit down as a leadership team and we say, okay, keeping in mind the year we've had those Hey,
Marissa, I don't.
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, maybe try to turn maybe your video. I've seen I know on Zoom does that sometimes if you take your video off because you're speaking powerful
There we
words.
go.
There we go. There we go.
What was the last powerful word you heard?
What was the last powerful word you heard?
She was talking about how like we all would agree that it was very unrealistic, just based on the capacity that you guys had on your staff and the goal that you had set in front of them. It was just demotivating everyone. That was really the last piece that I heard.
Okay, awesome. There you go. So it was demotivating everybody. It was just team number. It wasn't broken down by skill. It wasn't broken down by tenure. It wasn't broken down by honest. It all fell on the shoulders of my acquisitions team. We're all sitting here laughing at this if you've been in the game for a long time. And so what we did is we sat with our coach. We came up with realistic goals by using the KPI calculator provided by Results Driven. And then we took that, once we had a realistic, attainable goal, we took that and broke it down by each member of our team. We even forecasted our hiring down. And by breaking it down, we can now, one, give our people reasonable goals that they can fucking race after.
Yeah.
But we can also, judge each and every week, are we trending to hit our goals? If you're not, let's listen to calls and find out why. And we're also able to hold people accountable on an individual level instead of, hey, we all suck to.
Oh, this is gold.
It could have been one or two people.
I think we lost you there. Instead of coming in saying we all sucked, you cut off right there. I think this is perfect. When you guys come in, you have individual goals that we can race after. And instead of just accepting not performing in the given week, what are you guys doing now to hold your team accountable?
We're diving in, to be honest. And I'll be transparent. As a high-level leader, the one thing I hate the most is listening to calls. But that is the number one thing. It's a necessary thing. And so, 4-6 hours of my day is got headphones on, listening to calls. Hey, come over here. Let's listen to it together, because you can't just preach at people. You've got to guide them to their own discovery, or they're not going to understand the importance gap of why we're doing it the way we're doing it.
I love the terminology. I love the mindset behind it. Let's talk a little bit here. You bring up a great point. It's never easy to listen to calls. It's never easy at all. Diving into calls is very time consuming, but it's a 100% necessary. I don't even want to call it evil. It's just a necessary activity to keep our team sharp as a tack, enthusiastic as hell, and an expert in their field. So kind of talk through leaving our office. Have you guys implemented our sales process? Is that what you guys are following?
To a T. I will tell you, Josh, I'm probably the most hard-headed, fiery woman besides Tiffany, right?
Okay.
But I finally just gave in. I came into the small group. We signed up and we did it. And I was really speculating, like, okay, is this going to be the best fit for our organization? And I finally just threw my hands up and said, you know what? We're fucking paying for this. We committed to this. So we're just going to do it. And if it doesn't work, then I guess that's, a risk that we decided to take. So it was really hard. Oh, it's working.
So let me ask you this. So now from a management and leadership perspective, do you find yourself being able to predict outcomes? Do you find yourself, is it easier now to coach on sales and hold people accountable in their sales conversations now that you have this crystal clear process?
It is, because you have the data to back it up. So, I've been in call centers for most of my career before I moved into real estate. So, I can look at something and tell you what's wrong with it. Mm-hmm. But you can't get your team's buy-in. You can't get their motivation without showing them true data or true results of why this is happening. Mm-hmm. And so that's something we're able to accomplish by utilizing the script to a T, by utilizing Socratic questions and the sales psychology versus traditional, used car salesmen on the lot.
Oh, yeah.
But one big thing is we actually have data that tells the freaking story, instead of just saying, hey, you're struggling because of XYZ, and you just have to respect that I know what I'm talking about. That's bullshit. Mm-hmm. They don't have to respect what I'm talking about, and they shouldn't. They should question everything.
Yeah, I think that's powerful. And that's really what helps people. And when you look at building out a team, everyone sees sales as an art. And really what I mean by that is a lot of people say that you're either born a salesperson or you're not. Whereas like our philosophy and what you guys are saying too, is that when you are able to break it down to a science, you specifically talked about knowing and understanding why we're doing what we're doing and being able to explain why we have to do this behavior. I think when you're able to outline a sales process that is packed with qualification processes, sales psychology, and there's plenty of theory and science behind it. When you can turn sales into a science, that's when it becomes scalable. That's when it becomes accountable. And you guys are seeing that right now. And it's just really awesome to hear how you guys have changed. And even knowing in your honesty, like, hey, I was a little reluctant to buy into this, but I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of people who are reluctant, but they always give in. And when they give in, they're very excited that they did. So that's really cool to hear the success that you guys are having. I do have a question for you, taking a step back, when you were first getting into your role, what was something like, what's one piece of advice that you could share with anyone here who's watching this, who's looking to take their business to the next step? What would be a piece of advice that you have for them?
This is actually the perfect question, because one piece of advice that I would give to anybody who joins this group is to actually, like, from the highest level, CEO, director of operations, get involved. Do not think that this is something you can throw money at and it fix itself. And I'll share why I'm saying this. A few weeks ago, like
Hold on, Marissa. You said a few weeks ago, and then you cut out there. This is definitely an important piece.
Am I here?
You're here.
Okay. A few weeks ago, we had to make a very, very tough decision to part ways with our team lead, which is a huge position in any organization. And I had to ask myself, am I willing to bring someone in with the risk of us falling back behind to this position? So I'm director of operations. I really shouldn't even be, in daily operations of what's going on in our sales team and being on these calls and training and coaching. But I made the decision for my team that I was going to be the best the holidays. I made that very hard decision, and I had this mindset that I'm a badass and I can positions full time. Did I lose you guys? Am I still here?
I think you're still here. We lost you for a little bit, but I think we're good.
Kicker. I realized last week that I was doing a shitty job of doing both positions part-time. And my coach came to me, he said, Marissa, you have to open your eyes and see that you are trying to do two very difficult, high-level, full-time positions. So you either need to be okay with taking the risk to bringing somebody else in, or you need to get with the people in your organization and delegate your task as director of operations, and you're just going to have to take that hit. And I will tell you, it was one of the most vulnerable calls I've ever, because I got into the way and I said, yeah, I'm hurting my team. I'm the bottleneck. So took a few steps back over the weekend. We restructured and delegated a lot of my high level tasks, because that's the reason why my team was failing, was I wasn't listening to all the calls. I wasn't diving in. I wasn't coaching on every single opportunity because I did not have time.
And now you have a game plan moving forward.
Yeah, my sanity as well.
Most importantly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Marissa, I appreciate you sharing that piece of advice. Be involved, take the coaching, and take it serious. To your point, you guys are investing into this, and you're investing into yourself too. You're able to recognize maybe an opportunity for you to be a better leader for the organization that, if the coach didn't necessarily say that to you, you may not have recognized. So it's your willingness to be vulnerable, your willingness to receive feedback, and your willingness to go take action on those things. I think it's really what sets you guys apart. And hats off to you, because it takes a strong individual to say, shoot, you're right. I'm not being the best I can be, but now I'm going to change that. So I want to thank you for hopping on and sharing, your guys' experience with us and the wins that you guys are having. I think you guys are killing it, which is really cool to see. And it's really amazing to see the different components of the program that you guys are taking. And like you said, you're absorbing it all. And I think that's why you guys are seeing a lot of success. So again, I appreciate you hopping on and sharing that with everyone out here, and looking forward to seeing you guys continue to crush it.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it.
Do you have any last comments?
I had a good remark, we'll call it. It's funny that Marissa, she actually is faster to communicate, and it's cool to watch your growth just in this specifically, because I know that you said, I remember the call, and I think that you were a little hesitant and resistant in the very beginning to adopt like all of our sales processes of like, I think this will probably take some things here and there. But I love that you guys have dived completely in. And, I take it, it's actually funny because you work specifically with Bo. And whenever we see that you beat us to comments and engagement in the community, it makes us, it sharpens us throughout the day. Like, hey, Marissa's actually beating us to commenting and giving the right answer faster than a lot of other people. So I just love to see, your individual growth from, just the process of what you adopt. Because I know it's a lot of information. I mean, that's common feedback I get is, it's taking a lot of things of what you guys were doing, because you guys were incredibly successful, to even prior to joining us. And I think that, we've helped provide a lot of that structure that you guys really were looking for to really take you guys to that next level. So it's just been awesome to watch you grow, as an individual, and then continuing to see your business prosper and just keep going and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Our goal is to get us bigger than you guys, bigger than us, right? That's the goal at the end of the day. So keep chugging along.
I will tell you guys, without the perfect match of Coach Bo, I mean, he's the perfect coach for me. Like, he calls me out on my bullshit. He, takes it all out, and we definitely wouldn't be where we are without him, for sure.
Good.
But don't tell him I said that.
Oh, I don't think he's watching. I think he's running a pod right now. So I'll make sure that gets edited out, and nobody that's watching this is allowed to tell Bo.
Yeah, no one can share it.
It'll hype up his ego a little bit. We don't want
a little too much. That's funny. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Marissa. I hope that you guys have a great week here this week. Continued with a great month and a great quarter, and looking forward to seeing your guys' success. So until next time, everyone, peace out.
See you guys.